Hi, I'm Pete, and this is a tutorial on the Wheel of Wisdom. This is a great new puzzle from Diane, and it's a lot of fun to solve. I think it's one of these puzzles that's just the right mix of challenging. It's not too hard, but it's not trivial either, and it's just a lot of fun to solve. Now, physically, this puzzle resembles the Smaz time machine, but in terms of the solve, it's actually, I want to say it's quite different. In fact, the beginning and end of the time machine are pretty similar to the beginning and end of the solve of the Wheel of Wisdom. However, there's no middle part to the Smaz time machine solve, and there's a rather lengthy middle part to the solve of the Wheel of Wisdom. And I could actually say the same thing about the cross cube. This is a Calvin Puzzles cross cube. And again, we're going to borrow some ideas from solving the cross cube on the Wheel of Wisdom. But it's definitely, it is a bit different, again, in the middle part of the game. Now, to get the most out of this tutorial, certainly I will expect that you already know how to solve a Rubik's Cube using the beginner method. And I will go over it, but really it's kind of an essential part of the solve, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining it. Okay, so there you go, the Rubik's Cube. And then the other thing that would be very helpful is if you were familiar with the big cubes, how to solve a big cube centers. That I will go over in a bit more detail, but we'll be using that algorithm or one like it on the Wheel of Wisdom. So before we get started with the scramble and solve, let's talk about some names of the parts. Now, the Wheel of Wisdom is built on a 3x3 cube, so of course we have our corners and edges. Now, on the stickered version, this happens to be the black-bodied stickered version, the edges don't have stickers on them, and so they're not part of the solve. But on the stickerless version, or the colored plastic version, you'll have two colors on the edges, and so they do have to be solved. And we'll talk about that when we get to that step. Now, each face on the Wheel of Wisdom is a hexagon, and that just sets the face color, so the orange, the white, and so on. Around the center is these small triangles, and there are 8 of those small triangles, and I'm just going to call them small triangles. Now, these quadrilaterals, these little pointy things, you know what? I just call them ears, bat ears or cat ears or something like that. I'm just going to call them ears. And they're interchangeable. They're actually, it may not look like it, but they're symmetrical, so they can go on either slot there. So we'll call those ears. Now, this pie-shaped piece here is a circle sector. That's what it's called. That's what I know it, and so that's what I'm going to call it, a circle sector. All right. So I think that's all of the names. Now, these wheels turn in increments of 45 degrees. And unfortunately, in terms of doing a tutorial, the best grip I've found is what I call a jam jar grip, where you grip the whole wheel and turn it, but it's not going to make it very easy for you to see. So I'll try my best not to obscure the face as I'm turning it, but understand that sometimes I'll have to cover it to turn it. So they turn in steps of 45 degrees. Okay, and so when I say a 45-degree turn, it just means to look at one circle sector and just turn it until the next circle sector fills that spot. There's a little bit of a clicking mechanism or some kind of a detent mechanism that holds it in place. So you'll feel it when it's in the right spot. It is important to line up the circles or the wheels as you turn them, because otherwise this puzzle does get really hard to turn, and there is a lot of turning in the solution, as you'll see. It's a really fun solve. It's a lot of action. All right, well, those are all the pieces, and now it's time to scramble this up and get started with the solve. Okay, so to scramble the Wheel of Wisdom puzzle, if I just turn the wheel, it doesn't really change anything because the wheel is completely symmetrical. So first I have to scramble the underlying cube, Rubik's Cube. So you can just use whatever Rubik's Cube scrambling technique that you like, or 3x3 cube scrambling technique. All right, and there we go. So we're starting to get it scrambled up. Now we can start turning the faces, the wheels. Now these wheels are a bit like a baby face on the 5x5, the cross cube, Calvin's cuboids cross cube. And in that they're independent, they're not attached to any other face. And that's what makes this a relatively straightforward solve. If these wheels overlapped, then this would be a much more complex solve. So I'm just going to turn things just sort of as randomly as I can. Okay. Now my puzzle's loosened up quite a bit. I've solved it quite a bit, and most of these wheels are turning quite nicely. And I'm very happy with it. I haven't found any way to adjust the wheels yet. It seems that they're on some sort of rail or track system, but there are a lot of parts, a lot of tiny little parts in there. Now, in case you were wondering whether it's possible to separate all of the little tiny face pieces, it is. The little triangles move, the ears move, and the circle sectors move. So everything on the face moves. Which is kind of cool. Okay. So the stickers, I know that there were some reports of problems with the stickers. I did have a couple that sort of fell off. They were mostly from one particular face. One large sticker, and that seemed to be something to do with shipping. It just came in a padded envelope, and perhaps that wasn't quite enough for it. But other than that, I've had a couple of the small triangles come off, and I just glued them down as that happened. And I've solved it quite a few times after that, and I haven't had any problems since. So, maybe I got it, maybe not. If you don't want to fool with stickers, then I would recommend the stickerless version for sure. And the stickerless version has the added advantage of having the just a slightly greater challenge with the edges, but it really doesn't add much. Maybe an extra 30 seconds to the solve. All right, I'm doing my best to get everything separated out here. It's not practical to try and get every single piece split because, well, you can't. All right, so just scramble it until you're happy with it, and once we start to solve, there will be some additional separation of pieces as well. Okay, well that looks pretty good. We're back from the scramble, and now it's time to start solving the Wheel of Wisdom. Now the first step in the solve is to solve the underlying 3x3 cube. Now if you have a stickerless version, you'll just go ahead and make the bottom cross, do your corners, edges, edge orientation, last layer edge orientation, corner orientation. I have a stickered version. I don't have edges, so I'm basically going to solve it like a 2x2 or an edgeless 3x3. Now, as an odd ordered puzzle, the centers, just like a regular 3x3, determine the color of the face. They don't move. So I'm going to put the white corners in on the bottom here, and I just have to make sure I get the get each corner with the matching adjacent faces. So I need a green and white over there. There we go. And yeah, so the first two, I don't have to worry about edges, so I can be a little bit freewheeling there with my algorithms, except for this last one. Okay. There we go. Alright, so I have my bottom four corners in. If you are doing a stickerless, you'll have your edges in, and at this point you'll put your edges in on the sticker list. The sticker, we just skip right to corner orientation on the last layer, which is kind of cool. So now let's see. Okay, so that's just going to be soon. All right, yay. So I have my corners. I have two. These two are correct, and so I just have to swap those two using the standard 3x3 corner swap, whichever one you want. Alright, so I have all my corners done. Now, the corners are very small on here, but it doesn't matter. That's it. You're done with corners. You're not going to have to look at the underlying cube. Again, we're just going to go on to solve the faces or the wheels. Now, these baby faces are they're independent, so it is actually fairly straightforward to solve them. They turn 45 degrees, and so the method I'm going to show you is just pretty straightforward. I like to start with one face, the white face. Doesn't matter what face you start on, but I'm going to start with the white face. And what I want to do first is I want to put in 4 little triangles at 90 degrees apart. So basically I want to make a square. Now it doesn't matter if there are already other triangles. You know, I want 4 of them spaced 90 degrees apart. So this one's okay and that one's okay, and I want to put 2 more in. So there's a triangle, and there's a couple ways I can do it to put them in. Because we haven't done any other faces, I could just quite easily just turn this up, and that's the orange that I just moved up. Turn this face 45 degrees to replace the orange slot with the white and bring it down. Okay, this technique of bringing something up, changing it, and bringing it down protects the underlying 3x3 cube, and it protects all the other pieces and faces as well. And that's the whole basis for solving the Wheel of Wisdom. We're just going to do that over and over and over again, and once you get fast at it, it's kind of a cool thing, and this will go really fast. So I have my 3 white triangles in, and I want that yellow one, I want to make that a white one. So I have a white triangle there. It's not in my path when I bring this part up, so I'll just leave it there. So I'm going to make sure everything's lined up first. Bring it up. There's my yellow, so I have to turn it not 45 but 90, and I bring it down, and now I have a square. I've established a square. That's step 1 for each face. Now the next step then is to make what I call the bat head, which consists of a triangle with 2 ears, bat ears on it. You could imagine that was a cat head too, if you like the cats, but I think the ears are kind of more like bat ears. So we're going to join a triangle to 2 quadrilaterals, and we're going to do that just by a series of moves and turns of the circles. And then once we have one of those made, we're just going to swap it out, 4 of them out on the face, and then we're just about done a face. Okay, so how does this work? Well, we can leave this here because we have enough parts to work with. If we were out of parts, we could move this partial one up there, but we have enough parts to work with. So there's a triangle right there, a little triangle, and there's an ear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this until this triangle, until I can move it over here, and then replace that with that one. So this is a triangle. We're going to take the yellow, we're going to move it to an adjacent face. Okay, and now I'm going to turn this wheel 45 degrees, and this white one is replacing the yellow. And so I'm going to turn it back, and now I've joined those 2 pieces together. Pretty cool, right? So now the next, I can pick any one that I want, any one that's convenient. What I'm going to show you now is how to move one that's on the same face. Okay, but there's always a move nearby, and that's the cool thing about this puzzle. So what I want to do is I want to put a white one where the orange is. So I'm going to take this white one here, going to move it to an adjacent face. And now I can turn this face 45 degrees, and it's taken the place of the orange one, so that when I bring it back, I've now created full bat ears here, 2 ears and a triangle. Now it just so happens that we got the proper circle sector in. That was just a lucky coincidence. Normally that doesn't happen, or at least it didn't happen on purpose. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change out the pieces that are between the triangles already put in. So I'm going to change this one for that one. So I have it on one side. I'm going to take this up. I'm going to turn the whole circle 180 degrees. I'm going to bring it down, and now we've completed that part. Okay. So the goal then is, once we put the 4 little triangles in, is to make the ears in the triangle for the 4 spots around the wheel. We don't worry about the circle sectors. We don't care about them. If they come along, then that's great, but we really don't care. So now the next one, then we have to look around to find some pieces to join. Here's one that's already partially done, so we just have to replace this red one with a white here somewhere. So I'm going to turn this 45 degrees so that I can push this red up here. Okay, so now I push the red up here, and now I can turn this white one until it is where the red one was, and just bring it down, and now we've made one of those complete. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to replace this part right here. So I'm going to turn the one that's complete out of the way. I'm going to push this up, turn this into place, and turn it down. So there, and we've lost our circle sector. Don't worry about that. That's an easy piece to put in. All right, 2 more, and then we'll be ready to finish that face. So here's one that's together, but we're missing the triangle. So it really doesn't help us, because there's no easy way to put the triangle in. So it's best to start with one that already has a triangle, or just start with a naked triangle, and then join the other pieces. So what I've done is I've turned it so that this orange piece, I can pop it up here and then replace it with a white piece. So did I say orange? Green. Okay, I had a lot of trouble with that in elementary school. This green piece, I'm going to pop it up, and now I'm going to turn the white until it's where the green piece was. There it is. And we'll bring it down, and now I have a complete one. Okay, and I'll turn it out of the way, and up we go. 90-degree turn. You see that jam jar grip is what is the easiest way to do it, but it obscures it. So now we got one more to do, and if there were white pieces here, then I'd have to push them up, because there's only so many, right? And so if there were any triangles or white pieces, I'd have to shove them, replace them with something else. But there's our 2 whites, and we should have one. There's the triangle. So if I were to do this and put that over it, that's fine, but I got to remember to turn this wheel, turn those pieces out of the way, and then put it back. If I forget to put something back, then I'm going to mess up the underlying 3x3 cube. So that's why I prefer the other method, where you pick your piece that you want to replace, and then you move it, and then you put it back. So blue, I want to replace blue with a white one, so I'm going to move it over here. There's the blue. I'm going to turn this. There you go. There's the white. Bring it back, and now I've got my completed. And that, doesn't that look like a bat head to you? The ears and the little top of his little head, a little free. I don't know. I think it does. Okay, so we're going to replace that last piece. Move this out of the way, put it up over. Now, you know, obviously I'm going pretty slow here, but hey. Now, I think this is cool, the way it looks as you're solving it. Now, the next step's pretty straightforward. We're going to replace these corners here, and the algorithm I will use is exactly the same as you would use if you were doing the replacing centers on a big cube. or if you're 3 cycling corners on the cross cube. The algorithm, I know that I think it was Super Antonio Vivaldi showed in his video on this, where this piece goes here, that piece goes there, and that piece goes there. That's the one I'm going to use on here. But any method that 3 cycles, corners, or centers on a big cube between 2 faces will work here. So for example, we want to change that one. So I'm putting this here. So right above the corner we want to change, or the circle sector. And so we're going to go, this is going to go down, that's going to go there, and that's going to go there. Now I don't care about those two except for the last 2 faces. So here we go, the algorithm. So I'm going to go, well, it's R prime. And so the R is a wing turn, it's the whole thing, right? And then it's F prime, which is a 90-degree turn of just the face, to put that over here. L, which is again a wing turn. Okay. F, which is again a 90-degree turn. Be really careful you're doing 90-degree turns. An R, okay, and then an F prime, an L prime, and then an optional F turn just to put that corner back. That's optional because this is all symmetrical. It really doesn't matter. And notice that our orange is here, our green's there, and we put the white in. And that is how you fill in the circle sectors on the face. And you can do that at any part of the solve. You can leave it till the end. You can do all the battier pieces on the faces and leave that till the end, or you can do it a face at a time. I prefer to do it a face at a time, and so that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to fill all these in. Okay. Okay. Nope. Now, the one that I'm using is I like it because it's good for right-handed use. But if you the one I learned to do on big cubes actually was a left-handed one, and it works fine too. Any method that you use will work fine. Okay, and now I can do this technique from, you know, to on opposite face, but it just, to me, it just feels a little simpler to do it all in one face, an adjacent face. And what I've done here, this is kind of a cool thing, because if I put 2 together, then I'm not going to have to turn this face to do these 2. So now if I use a jam jar grip, then I can actually turn the face in the wheel in one smooth move. If I just use 2 fingers, it's really hard to do that, and that's why I seem to be struggling with it. I'm probably making it look like a worse turner than it is. Okay, so there we go. So there's the white face. Repeat this 5 more times. Okay, it's not that easy. What we're going to do is we're going to do the next 3 faces, and then the last 2 faces have a little bit of special operations. What I like to do is do an adjacent face. It doesn't really matter which one, but I do like to solve adjacent faces. So let me just go ahead and solve the blue now. So what's the first step? Well, the first step is to put the, make sure you have 4 corners 90 degrees apart. So I already have 2 in place, so let me go and fill these ones in. Now this one is out of place, so there's a kind of a cool little trick we can do there. There you go. Now that's done, and now I just have to fill in one more. Okay, and I basically got a little over eager there, and I didn't have everything lined up. So now I have the 4 little triangles in. That one looks like it's all nicely done, but because the middle triangle is little tiny triangle is missing, it's useless. We're going to have to reassemble it, but we can still use part of it, and I'll show you. We have a triangle there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set it here so that I can shove this piece up. And at least I got that part taken care of. Now I just have to find a swap for that. So notice I've turned the 2 pieces I want to keep out of this rotation here. And so I'm going to move this green over here. So there's the green, and I'm going to move the blue into place. And bring it back. Whoop, there you go. And now, of course, you know, I'm showing lots of examples of these, and obviously, once you get it, feel free to fast forward the tape, or I guess it's not really tape anymore, is it? It's video. There you go. So we're gonna put these bat ears all the way around at 90 degrees. Around the circle, and they're going to be between the triangles that we already put in. So this is another one that's almost done. Let's see here. So I just have to go over. So it's the red one. So we'll go over. Whoop. We'll turn this up to where the red was. Okay, there it is. And we'll just put it on that side this time. Whoa. Yeah, it's much easier just to hold the whole thing. So we have 2 of them done. All right, let's put this, kick this into overdrive here. So I'm gonna put that up, and I can't turn this because it'll hurt the white. So otherwise we might have been able to do that. But now I can turn the red up here. I can turn the blue where the red belongs. There you go. It's joined up quite nicely. All right. We'll pick that one. I didn't really need to turn that wheel. I'm not really sure why I did. So I'm just, the nice thing about these 45-degree turns is that there's always some easy way to pick up a piece. So I'm just going to go there. So that was I think that was the green. All right, well, let's try it. Oh, there it is. Okay. And now I'll just turn that. Okay, so that, and then one more over there. Okay. So those are all the pieces I need, but they're kind of spread out a bit here. So let me just. Okay, so there's the one. Okay, I just didn't quite line something up there. Bring that down. Okay, and now that one. Turn it in. Okay. Now, every time you get one of these put together, it doesn't hurt to look around, make sure your corners are still intact and you didn't accidentally forget to put something back or twist the wrong way or something. So now we can just go ahead and fill in the circle sectors the way I showed it before. We got 2 right there, so that'll be nice for that. Okay, we got 2 more, real handy there. Just remember that those are 90-degree turns, even when you're doing a 45-degree. Like, even though it can turn 45 degrees, those are 90-degree turns for this little algorithm. There we go, and we got 3 more. So, you know, I like to do this on an adjacent face. It is possible to do it across, but it's just more comfortable to do it on an adjacent face. So now we have them here and here. So let's just get this one. Okay, and that last F turn is optional. And instead of doing the F turn, you can just use it as a positioning turn for the next circle sector. Ooh. Okay, so there we go. So now I have 2 adjacent faces done, and what I like to do is do another adjacent face. Because it leaves you more freedom. You have then 3 adjacent unsolved faces and 3 adjacent faces. The choice of colors is entirely up to you, and you'll see I have my favorite last 2 faces colors, and I'm sure you'll develop yours. All right, let's do this orange, and let's just kick this into a bit of turbo here. All right, gotta line stuff up. I'm really over eager. That's my thing. Eh? Okay, so there's one. Oh, I guess yeah, it would help if I put the little 4 corners in there. So, all right, well let me try that then. So we got that one. Okay, I was really over eager, wasn't I? Okay, I got that one. And yeah, it happens to the best of us because I really like this puzzle, and I think that kind of going fast on this, even though it's a little catchy, I'll say, but I think going fast on this would be kind of fun. I think it would be fun to watch somebody who's really fast really go at this puzzle. So I got my corner, my little triangles in. I've made my square, and now I'm gonna just swap out the one that I already did. You see how you know, pretty forgiving this puzzle is, because you know I made that piece and it's still there, no problem. After all those moves. So I'm going to replace the yellow, so I'll get that out of the way. Okay, now I'm going to just turn that and replace the red. Yeah, I really like those 45-degree turns. So there's more action than kind of trying to figure out what your next move is on this puzzle. Now there's a complete one, so that's kind of cool. I'll take that, I don't mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it all the way to the top here. And then do that, and then all the way to the bottom. Yeah, why not? I got a complete orange one as well. That's kind of cool. Alright. Well, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put this up and join it to the triangle, but I'm going to bring both of them back down so it's on an adjacent face. And there's my last bat ear. And I think I might have boxed myself into a corner here. Okay. And we'll go that way. There's always a way. Okay, and I can just leave it. Turn that up. Okay. And so there's my orange face all done. Nice little pattern there. I'm going to put in the circle sectors using that same algorithm. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to get a few more. Oh, wow, there's quite a few up here. Yeah. Going to get as many of those as I can. Well, I can get exactly 3. Alright. If there's any geometry students out there, this slice here, a circle segment where there's one line, as opposed to the pie-shaped piece, circle sector. So all I'm doing is just queuing up my my circle sector pieces, my corner pieces, and now I'm ready. I don't have to move from that face very much. There's the one I'm going to replace. And that one's cycled into place for us. Now, because all of these pieces, these circle sectors, are identical, there's no order and there's no sequence, there's no parity with them, unlike the time machine, which has some interesting parities when you get the numbers in the wrong order, and you have to use a special magic algorithm to get it all sorted out. There's nothing like that here. I haven't found any kind of parity on this puzzle. I don't expect any. And there we go. So now I have 3 adjacent faces done. And now it's time to solve. We're going to end up with the last 2 faces. Now I like yellow and red as my last 2 faces, so I'm just going to solve the green. And I have plenty of room here to solve this green. So there's one of my triangles, but we are, yeah, I think it'll be alright. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to swap one triangle for another one, just to have a bit more raw materials on the other face. So now I'm going to put in my 4 triangles on the corners. Okay, well that really it's not as good as it might have seemed to get that done, because it's actually on the wrong kind of the wrong, I don't know how to explain it, on the wrong angle. Okay, anyway, I'll take it, it'll be fine. Okay, well, it's hard to see, but I have my 4 corner pieces done here, and now I want to start building some of these. And I probably want to use some of these ear pieces. Alright, so we'll join that. Okay, so very few algorithms on this puzzle, and just mostly strategy. The one algorithm that cycles those circle sectors, and then mainly strategy. Okay, so there's that one. That one I can use if I can get it out of there. There, so I can use that one. Oops. Okay. I think there we go. Okay. So I will get. Gotta get something in there. Is that it? Nope. One more. Okay, so that one's done. Okay, that one and that one. And actually I can just use the one that was already there. There we go, that's one. And now I got an interesting, okay. Okay, I'm going to have to use that one, I think. And I can actually do that all in one move. You don't have to, of course, but yeah, I think that worked out. Okay, and there's my last little green piece. So let's see, can I? Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna put it up there. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, so I got it, and now I just have to join those two. And because those are the last ones, I will. What I'm going to do is, if you see, this piece has to go there, but because of the 45-degree turns, I can turn it on that face, and because the face is independent, I can do it as long as I avoid a face that's already been solved. Okay, that one's done. Let's do the circle sectors, and okay, let's put that one into place. Okay, so that algorithm that I'm using just happens to be the one I like, right-handed one. You can use a left-handed version. The one from the big cubes that I learned years ago works. So it's just whatever one you like. That one. Okay, and then just go right into that one. So this is what I meant when I said that there's a lot of action on this puzzle. Not a lot of complex setup moves. There's always a good move nearby because of the 45-degree turns and the complete freedom of these faces. And so it's just fun. You know, you're moving fast. You're just getting a lot solved with every move. Whoop. And yeah. Okay, there you go. So I have 4 faces solved now, and time to tackle the last 2 faces. Now, now maybe you might see why I like to keep the yellow and red as the last 2 faces. I just think they look cool. I think it looks really cool to see these the patterns in the last 2 faces. All right, so we don't have a whole lot of room to work here, but it's fine. We can do exactly the same thing we've done before. We're going to put the 4 triangles in each face, and we're just going to have to kind of maneuver a little bit. And what we want to probably try and do is maybe get some of the triangles that we don't need out of the way. That'll help us later. Okay, so I want to put that triangle in. So what I can do here, I can, yeah, so we can do that. Whoops. Okay, I think it probably will just do that. Okay, and now that one, and that one, and so this is the next one that I want to do, and it looks like that would be a nice one to put in, but actually I don't want to put a completed bat head on a corner like that. We want them in the between the corners, so that's why I turned that out of the way. So the goal now is to get as many of these put together and swapped in there as possible, and we want to do it between the between these corners that we made here. So for example, I can make a completed bat head if I were to somehow fill that red with one of those yellows, and I think I can do that if now I gotta be careful. I can pull that down, okay, and that's fine. And then if I turn this, see here where there's not one that I'm gonna wreck, and put it up, right? So that's what I want to kind save the ones I already have as much as possible. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swap that one in up over here. And I'll just bring that down. So I got that. Now, can I make one? See this one right here? If I somehow, let's see here. If I were to somehow get that piece down in there, I could make one. So let's try it. No, that's really not gonna work unless I do. Yeah, okay. Well, I can do that. And then we bring that over. Okay, so I was able to make another one. And what I will do now is I'll replace that one. Okay. What did I just do? I think I blew away one that I needed. Okay, well, that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this piece down, turn that one up, and there we go. So I have two of them now, and all I have to do is get the next two. That one's completely, that's actually a complete one for down here, so that's kind of cool. Now this piece, if I could move this piece down, that would work quite nicely. And since I'm not going to break anything up here, why don't I turn this up, turn this down, and then bring that down. So now I have a completed one right here. Okay. So let's see here. So now I can go, oops. There we go. Okay, so we just have just a couple more to assemble here. That one's good, that one's good, and that one's good. I think I may have, yes, okay, so I have a bit of a problem in that I took that corner off. So what I want to do at this point, this piece and this piece, I want to replace those with one that has a triangle on it. Right there, you see I have that one that has a triangle, so that would actually be in my, it would be better if I can do that. There we go, whoops. Yeah. So that piece and that piece. So I'll bring that down, and now I'm just going to rotate this so that those two are there. And so I've repaired that corner. And now all I have to do is get this piece here and that piece there, and I'll be done. So how can I do that? Well, let's see here. If I do a swap here like this, okay, so I haven't heard anything, and that piece is available. So let's see here. All right. Now let's see. Don't think that's gonna work. What if I should put that up there? Yeah, I think I might. It might be a little more complicated than just swapping those pieces out. But hey, you know, this is all part of the game. So now I have a complete one there, and I think I might be able to somehow get this. So it's just, you know, you just play the game until you get them all to. So if I bring that one down, I can put, oh, yeah, I think that'll work. There we go, that's good. And now, okay, and now I think I need to somehow replace that one. Yeah, okay, so I can replace those two pieces with those two pieces. There we go. So I got that, that, and that. So if I was to fix that one, then, yep. Not quite sure, not quite easy to do, but I can use this slice of that one. That'll be perfectly fine, because you see that's going to join that, so that'll be okay. Oops, I'm not sure that I, oh, okay, I think yeah. Okay, and so now this little piece right here, if I can somehow join that to that, and I can, I think. Okay, so this is where things, let's see, how can I make this all work? I need that piece. This piece has to go right in here. So if I just push this right up, then that will be good. But I'm moving one piece out of the way. So how is that going to work? Okay. What I'm trying to do is find a way to kind of to join these two pieces without wrecking anything else. Let's see here. It'll be fine. I think it'll probably be easiest to do it this way, to put that up there, and now and just find some either there or there where I can join it. Let's see here. Ah, there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, I'm going to bring this piece down, I'm going to rotate it down and push it up. I'm going to bring this over, going to, right, so now this piece will replace, going to turn it up, boom, there you go. So that was a lot of fiddling around, but basically your strategy is to put the 4 points in, the 4 triangle points around the center, and then do a series of slices and wheel turns to join up the bat ears and the triangles. Okay, and hopefully I've given you some ideas on how to do that. Who knows, maybe I'll have to do a last 2 faces Wheel of Wisdom separate tutorial. Alright, so once you have your last 2 faces, the bat ears and the triangles done, the rest of it is the straightforward routine, which doesn't change for the last 2 faces. And you'll see that you know, the wheels are turning reasonably well here. You know, as long as I'm not doing a lot of moves and then not quite lining things up. I think that's what kind of derails me a little bit, if I don't quite line things up. But this puzzle's been breaking in quite nicely. And there you go, the Wheel of Wisdom solved. So fairly straightforward, a lot of good fun stuff to do in the middle there, a lot of strategy, and then the last 2 faces are the real puzzle part of this puzzle, to try and work out the way to join all the pieces, the slices and turns that it will take. Alright, well, there you go. I hope that this tutorial has been helpful. As always, I really appreciate your comments, your questions, your suggestions, your feedback, so let me know what you think on the comments. And that's it for me. Thanks for watching.